Are you sick and tired of feeling stuck in life? If you are, this video is for you. What's up, warrior? I'm Zook, and I help Christian dads smash their goals so that they can live in their purpose and thrive in life. Let's go on and jump into this video. So God's faithfulness is not always immediately apparent, but it's essential to trust that He has a plan, and not everything He does makes sense within His economy, even if it doesn't add up from a human perspective. Bro, there are going to be so many obstacles that you will come across. Not just, I want to say, as you grow closer to Christ, He's going to open up your mind more to just, not just the evils of the world, but just how it might seem like the odds are against you, but they're not. Because that is the enemy trying to throw you off track, to take you away from living in your purpose. I have been guilty of this, and this is even like recently, where like living on things in the past, just through some traumatic experience, and my mind would be stuck in that. And you are a new creation in Christ, and you are an overcomer, and you could do so many things, but you need to keep Him first. So the concept of reaping what you sow is crucial in understanding God's fairness, as the inputs and efforts you put into your life will have consequences and determine the outputs, whether positive or negative. So bro, your choices matter daily. You need to be careful, and because you never know. I mean, I'm just gonna share you just a story about myself, but I mean, it was many years ago, back in 2008. I had a really bad drinking problem, which eventually turned to drugs because I ended up getting addicted to my painkillers. Though the accident happened when I blacked out while drinking, it took almost a year for me to figure out exactly what all happened, and I was being sued for up to $1 million. I have never come close to that amount of money in my life. And the most expensive thing I had at the time, literally, I'm not even kidding, it was my grandmother's bubble screen TV. And if you were an 80s or a 90s kid, then you know what I'm talking about. It was a very sucky experience, but even though that happened in one night, it took a year for me to put the pieces together to figure out kind of what all happened and why I had to keep going back to court, because it was a pretty serious court case. I mean, there were people who were almost killed because of me being stupid, drinking and driving. And the same thing can go to you. I mean, you could have made a poor choice years ago and you still might be paying for it. And remember, it is vital to recognize that God's sovereignty and pinpoint accuracy are at work in your life always. Distracting events and circumstances, even when things seem chaotic or unpredictable. Bro, remember, God is always working, always freaking working. He wants the best for you. But unfortunately, we live in a world full of jacked up people, and it makes it incredibly difficult to share the love of Christ. And we also have quote Christians out there who say it by name, but their actions show otherwise. I mean, you couldn't even tell that they're a Christian because they're rude, they're disrespectful, they're thieves, they gossip. Stay away from those men. Like, biblically, we are to stay away from those kind of people. And plus, that makes us have to work like 1,000 times harder to say, no, I'm a Christian, but I'm not that kind of Christian. That's unfortunately the American culture we live in. And remember, man, to experience God's faithfulness and blessings, it's essential to sow good things, such as praying, learning, and putting time and energy into godly pursuits. And to trust that God will reward those efforts, even if it's not immediately apparent. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. Some things take time to build. Depending on what you want to build, it can take longer than most things. And don't get discouraged when you see these people who you honestly don't think deserve it get these, quote, blessings really quickly. Whether they win a car or whether they buy a new house and they somehow got these funds, are qualified, like it's always just, it will always pretty much be discouraging stuff like that if you focus on envying what other people have. Focus on you and God. Even if you're married, even if you have kids, even if you have like a strong community, you need to focus on you and God first. And then everything else will fall in line. So you need to break free from negative thinking. And pessimism is crucial, as these can delay or prevent blessings and hinder your ability to receive what God has in store for you. And instead, focus on sowing positivity and trust in God's plan daily. This is why, with my guys, and then with you, you need to start journaling and documenting just what's working and what's not daily. And when I say just what's working and what's not, that's not even talking about you living in your purpose and starting a business. That's just in general, like your prayer life, your walk with Christ. How is that going? Are you taking steps to better yourself, to be a better steward and be a better example of Christ? Or are you just being lazy? Every second, and especially as you get older, there's a term for this, but time literally starts to fly by. It flies by so freaking fast. And then, bro, and when you have kids, your time is just gone. Because even when your kids aren't physically around you, will constantly think about their children. And that's one of the hardest things that I'm where I'm at right now. Working 2 labor-based jobs, being so freaking exhausted some days, where my eyes are burning, my joints are just so freaking sore. I feel like the freaking Tin Man. And the rest of the energy that I have to pull out of myself. But thank God that He gives it to me, because I'm able to give that to my kids, and we'll go run around in our massive yard. It's amazing, how encouraging it is just by watching your kids, man, understanding how good God is. All right, now it's time for our last one. So ultimately, God's faithfulness is not about comparing yourself to others or focusing on quantity, but about trusting that He has a unique plan for your life, and that your efforts and your choices will have consequences, and seeking to do things in conjunction with Him and His help. So remember, bro, you're either with God or not. And yes, life can be difficult, especially with where you're at. And let me know down below too, maybe some struggles that you currently have. I would love to pray for you. And at this time that you're watching this, I am starting a community. I'm trying to figure out, and I can use your insight as well. I can do it on Facebook, on Discord, or start one on the school platform, which I really like the school platform because I can actually upload little courses, and I want to be able to serve you all better that way as well, because there is so much to learn, and I want to help you first be present by growing closer to Christ and hold you accountable to that. And if you have any ideas of things you want to do or questions you might have, I would love to make courses or posts, or we can have weekly meetups. Virtually. But yeah, there's just so much we can do. All right, bro, I want you to go out there and have a great day, because God made this day for you. Bye.